Assalamualaikum. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to KYUDAI NOW, the Kyushu University Forum in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia 2024. My name is Azizuddin Abdul Aziz, an alumni of Kyushu University.
And my name is Muhammad Izzat Idris, also an alumni of Kyushu University. It is a great honor for us to serve as the MC for today's forum. For Muslim participants, we will begin the event with the recital of Kitab, Al-Fatiha.
Ladies and gentlemen, for the first welcome remarks, we would like to invite Professor Akira Harada, Senior Vice President of Kyushu University and Deputy Director of Institute for Asian and Oceanian Studies. Welcome.
All right. Can you hear me? Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Akira Harada, Senior Vice President of Kyushu University and Deputy Director General of Q-AOS, Kyushu University Institute for Asian and Oceanian Studies. Thanks a lot for taking time out of your busy schedule to be here to join KYUDAI NOW in Malaysia. It is our great pleasure to have this opportunity to talking about ongoing and future collaboration between Malaysia and Kyushu University. KYUDAI NOW has several objectives to introduce research from researchers who are currently actively promoting research in Kyushu University and to build new collaboration and to renew old friendships. Here, program is here, and here I'd like to talk about three distinguished topics over this last decade of Kyushu University. The first is relocation to new Ito campus from old Hakusaki campus. No pointer. Excuse me. Sorry. This is virtual background for web, but I viewed photo. And this is aerial photo in 2018. And this is aerial photo in 2001. The location has started after this time. You can see no building surrounded by hills of orange. Orange groves. The relocation was completed in 2018, and there are numerous buildings, halls, numerous buildings and halls and libraries, and nature preserving space and farms here. With area of 271 hectares, it is one of the biggest single campus in Japan university. I'd like to show you. Kyushu University campus and dormitory map. We have the largest campus here in the countryside, and we have another campus in downtown, 3 campuses. Hospital campus for medical science and technology, and Ohashi campus for design, and Chikushi campus for advanced science and engineering. These are Fukuoka landscape paintings, painting by Professor Tanimoto, professor and painter. He is now Dean of IGSES, Interdisciplinary Graduate School of Engineering, Science Kyushu University. This is the first topic. And third topic is this. Q-AOS has established in next year, the location has completed. As a continuation of the research and educational activity of Kyushu University in Asia and Oceania. Q-AOS aim to achieve SDGs and find future SDGs through interdisciplinary activities across academic discipline and on demand and on-site practice. If you search our homepage using with the keyword Q-AOS, you will find detailed information. And there is a page in the homepage about current collaboration between Malaysia and the Kyushu University. I skipped second topics. That is designation. As one of the 10 designated national university corporations by MEX, the Ministry of Education, Culture, Sports, Science and Technology, Japan. In addition, Kyushu University announced Vision 2030 for driving social change with integrated knowledge. Among many goals to be achieved, Kyushu University has identified 4 issues of particular importance: decarbonization, medicine and health, environmental food, and digital transformation. I believe these issues are highly common and of interest of all of you. Now, I'd like to conclude my opening remarks by hoping that this meeting will prove meaningful for all participants and new collaboration will start. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you, Professor Akira Harada. For the second welcome remarks, we would like to invite Professor Sheikh Ahmad Zaki Sheikh Salim, President of Malaysia Kyushu University Alumni Association, KYUDAI, Welcome, Prof.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Ladies and gentlemen, esteemed guests and distinguished participants, good afternoon to you all. It is my great honor to stand before you as the president of the Malaysia Kyushu University Alumni Association. Okay, my name is Sheikh Ahmad Zaki Syed Salim. I am delighted to welcome each and every one of you to this monumental event. Today is a momentous occasion as we gather here for the very first Kyushu University Forum in Malaysia, a platform that transcends borders, fostering intellectual exchange and collaboration between Kyushu University and the vibrant academic and industry in Malaysia. Our distinguished VVIPs have graced us with their presence, and I would like to extend a warm welcome to each of them. Professor Akira Harata, our Senior Vice President of Kyushu University, Japan. Thank you for your esteemed presence. Mr. Atsushi Karimata, Minister of the Embassy of Japan in Malaysia, we are honored to have you with us. Professor Suji Shimizu, Vice President of Kyushu University, your support is invaluable. And Associate Professor Fumihiko Yokata, your great effort for the event, really appreciate it. In addition to our esteemed VVIPs, we are joined by 6 distinguished speakers from Kyushu University, each specializing in diverse research background. Their expertise and insight promise to enrich our discussion and contribute to the greater pool of knowledge that bind us together. This event is not just about academic exchange, it is about building bridge and fostering meaningful connection. We are proud to announce that the Malaysia Kyushu University Alumni Association has now compiled a database with over 293 alumni since 1994 until now who graduated from Kyushu University. This growing network is a testament to the enduring ties between Kyushu University and its alumni, and we hope this will further strengthen the collaborative spirit of this forum. The Kyushu University Forum, hosted by the Kyushu University Institute for ASEAN Oceanian Studies and co-hosted by the Malaysian Kyushu University Alumni, or we call as KYUDAI, serves as a catalyst for the international research collaboration. Our aim is to strengthen the ties between Kyushu University and Malaysian researchers and agencies, facilitating an exchange of ideas, methodologies, and perspectives that will undoubtedly lead to groundbreaking advancement in various fields. As we embark on this exciting journey, let us seize the opportunity that this forum presents. Let us engage in a fruitful discussion, forge new partnerships, and collectively contribute to the advancement of knowledge and the betterment of society. In the broader content of international forum, this gathering play a crucial role in fostering collaboration, breaking down geographical barriers, and promoting the free exchange of ideas. They serve as a platform for cross-cultural understanding, encouraging innovation, and creating network that endure long after the event concludes. Lastly, I would like to acknowledge the hard work of our co-hosted team. It's our alumni committee who has tirelessly working behind this team to ensure that the success of our first event is an international first event. Their dedication and commitment are commendable, and without their effort, their realization of the forum would not have possible. Okay, I really appreciate our community member. It's come here from other state for the success of this forum. Okay, thank you again for joining us at the Kyushu University Forum KYUDAI Now in Malaysia. I wish everyone a productive and enriching experience. Let the collaboration begin. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Professor Zaki, for your excellent remarks. Now, we would like to invite Mr. Atsushi Karimata, Minister of Embassy of Japan in Malaysia, for his opening remarks. Mr. Karimata, the floor is yours.
Professor Harata Akira, Senior Vice President, Kyushu University. Professor Shimizu Shuji, Vice President, Kyushu University. Professor Sheikh Ahmad Zaki bin Sheikh Salem, President of Malaysia Kyushu University Alumni Association. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. 皆さん、こんにちは. Good afternoon. I'd like to express my gratitude to Kyushu University for giving me this opportunity to say a few words in the Kyushu University Forum, KYUDAI NOW in Malaysia. I am also grateful to all the Malaysian friends for joining this precious opportunity. I always enjoy attending many gatherings of people who have been to Japan with strong aspiration, like all of you. Ladies and gentlemen, let me touch on the bilateral relation between Japan and Malaysia. The relation has been strong and dynamic since the diplomatic relations were established in 1957. Since then, our two countries have been enjoying a long-running and strong bond of friendship. What is unique about the relation between our two countries is that mutual trust has been cultivated through educational exchanges and close business interactions under the Look East policy, which was launched by the government of Malaysia in 1982. So far, more than 26,000 Malaysians studied or got training under the LEP. You are among the precious assets for the relationship between Kyushu University and Malaysia. Last year, 2023, was a very big year. We witnessed significant progress in the bilateral relations between Japan and Malaysia. Particularly noteworthy were Prime Minister Kishida's visit to Malaysia in November and Prime Minister Dato Seri Anwar's visit to Japan in December. Japan and Malaysia agreed to upgrade the relationship to a comprehensive strategic partnership last month in Tokyo. It was a historic step forward. The two leaders also concurred with further promotion of exchanges between the people of the two countries through strengthening human resource development and people-to-people exchanges. I therefore would like to thank once again to Kyushu University for organizing this timely and valuable event. Ladies and gentlemen, under the LEP, many Malaysians studied or received training in Japan and have been making a remarkable contribution to the advancement of Malaysia at the forefront of their society, including public sectors, business and the industry, and academia. Today, I am looking forward to seeing the alumni of Kyushu University with a variety of successful careers share their experiences in Japan and how they are active in Malaysia now. Today, Malaysia is facing new challenges which were not taken seriously 40 years ago when the LEP was initiated. They are, for example, disaster risk reduction, water resource management, decarbonization, and dealing with aging societies. In this regard, I understand Kyushu University has actively promoted research collaboration, including co-authored papers with 41 Malaysian universities and institutions. I hope Kyushu University will continue to deepen discussion with researchers in Malaysia and to identify areas of cooperation that will be effective in the field of science, technology, and innovation. Ladies and gentlemen, the Kyushu University's activity is a good example for collaboration with Malaysian universities and institutions. Looking back to the relation between Japan and Malaysia, Japan can contribute to Malaysia in various areas by sharing its experiences and technology. On the other hand, Japan should learn from Malaysia as well. Also, cultural diversity is what Malaysians are proud of and served as an engine for social and economic development. Japan needs to learn more Malaysia how to introduce and maintain this diversity. I strongly believe that Japan and Malaysia have much to share, particularly for further promoting the LEP and other policies with great potential for mutual benefits. By joining hands, we can together explore a brighter future for our two countries and for the rest of the world. This afternoon, I am happy to know about 100 people, including Kyushu University alumni, are participating in this event. I hope every participant will build a new network for further collaboration. Before concluding, I'd like to once again thank Kyushu University and University Technology Malaysia for organizing this event. I hope all participants will enjoy the rest of the program and wish you all the best for your future endeavors and success. I also sincerely hope that this year, 2024, will be even brighter for all of us. Thank you very much for your kind attention. ありがとうございます。
Thank you very much, Mr. Karimata, for your meaningful remarks. Now, we would like to invite Professor Fumihiko Yokota, Associate Professor of Kyushu University, Institute for Asian and Oceanian Studies, for introducing Kyushu University and Institute for Asian and Oceanian Studies. Professor Yokota, the floor is yours.
Selamat petang. Konnichiwa. Good afternoon. My name is Fumihiko Yokota. Welcome to Kyushu University Forum. Thank you so much for coming to visit our forum. I would like to introduce our university. So this map shows the distance between Japan and Malaysia. Fukuoka to KL, 1,400 kilometers, and Tokyo to Kuala Lumpur is more than 5,300 kilometers. So we have much advantage to come to visit Kuala Lumpur and Malaysia. And flight hour from Haneda to Kuala Lumpur is 7 hours 40 minutes. Fukuoka to Singapore, we came this route 6 hours 30 minutes, and Singapore to KL is one hour, so almost the same time. So this, thank you very much. So this picture shows Fukuoka City, our city. Kyushu University located in Fukuoka City, which has 1.5 million population, and it's located in Kyushu Island, north of Kyushu Island. And as you can see from this picture, we have a beautiful beach, ocean, and island, mountains, park, and we have a lot of modern cities with beautiful nature. So I hope everyone can visit us soon in the future. And from this picture, as Harada Sensei mentioned, we have 4 main campus. Ito campus is on the west side, and then Maedashi Hospital campus in the east side, and then Ohashi and the Chikushi campus in the bottom part. And we have a very delicious food, the ramen noodle and chicken satay, and we have a street food, and we have beautiful sakura season coming on end of March and April. We have a festival, very active festival, so you can enjoy. So Harada Sensei already mentioned about our campus, 4 main campus. On the west side, we have a main big campus called Ito campus. And then the east side, we have a hospital campus. Hospital campus. And we have Ohashi campus and Chikushi campus. Okay, so this slide shows that Our university is one of the Japanese national university and ranked 7th in Japanese university in 2022. QS World University ranking in 2022 is 135 and 29th in Asia in 2022. We have, this slide shows the number of students is more than 18,000, including both undergraduate and graduate students. International student is almost 9% of the total student, which has 2,000. And from Malaysia, we have currently 30 Malaysian students in Kyushu University. And we have more than 2,000 faculty, including 115 non-Japanese faculty. We have 12 undergraduate schools, as you can see listed in this slide. We have 18 master and PhD graduate schools. Sorry. So we have a Malaysian, thank you very much, sorry. This slide shows some statistics about Malaysian students in Kyushu University. Number of Malaysian students in Kyushu University in 2019, before COVID, was slightly more, 37 students, but after the COVID, 30 students in 2023. Undergraduate is 15, graduate 19, and the other postdoc or researcher 2. Faculty of Engineering, 14 students. Department of Engineering is 6. Integrated Interdisciplinary Department, SORICO, is 5. And the cumulative number of Malaysian students in Kyushu University is 260. Kyushu University Malaysian Student Alumni Association, as Dr. Zaki mentioned, officially established in 2022, January 13th. The president is Zaki Sensei. So I would like to share 2 minutes Kyushu University introductory videos. Sorry, this is this commercial. So, sorry. Let's deny this. This is Ito campus and the hospital campus. Ohashi campus, the Faculty of Art. And Chikushi campus, where at the center, yeah. We have a long history. We have now big libraries in Ito campus. Okay, thank you so much for watching this video. So I'd like to continue next 2 minutes to a little bit talk about our connection, our partnership with Malaysia. So this slide shows the partner institution in Malaysia official MOU. We have MOU with University Technology Malaysia, UTM, and Petronas University of Technology, Mala University of Technology, University of Malaya, University Saint Malaya, Malaysia, University Malaysian Kelantan, and the University Petra, Malaysia. However, we have more joint publication with Malaysian University, 41 Malaysian University. We have a joint publication. This is a list of all 41 institute or university which we have joint research, joint publication. So I hope your university is listed in this table. University of Malaysia Sabah we have, and many universities. So we are so grateful for this success. So now our institute, Professor Haruta Sensei already mentioned about our institute. Haruta Sensei is a Deputy Director General. Shimizu Sensei is an Executive Research Director, and Akane Sensei and I are under the Department of Research Promotion. So we, as Haruta Sensei also mentioned, we are the interdisciplinary research institute, which aim to achieve SDGs by collaborating with beyond academia, not only academia, but also the industries, community-based organizations, and government organizations. We have 3 main activities. We have every Wednesday Brown Bag seminar, online seminar, free online seminar. So you can, I hope you can join this free online seminar by just clicking. It's lunchtime in Japan, but Malaysia time is 11:10 to 11:50. So tomorrow we have a seminar about photochemistry by Kiyoshi Miyata Sensei. And next following week, we have Miki Sensei about resource processing situation. And in the past, the embassy from Malaysia, Saito-san, First Secretary, and Kubota-san from ASEAN Center, kindly presented about Brown Bag seminar. So thank you so much for presenting. And the second activity we have is Asia Week Symposium. We have, since past 3 years or 4 years, we have every November, we have Asia Week. This is a hybrid. So online and on-site. And last 2022, we have a seminar about 40th anniversary of Look East policy, solving SDG issue, and Japan-Malaysia cooperation run by Akane Sensei. She organized this, and we had a speaker from First Secretary Embassy of Malaysia, Tokyo, and Kuwano Sensei, and Matsura Sensei, which have a deep collaboration between Japan and Malaysia. And the third activity we are doing now is this KYUDAI NOW forum. Since 2023 January, this time we have implementing in Malaysia. So, but in the past we have this activity in Thailand, Vietnam, and Indonesia. Because we have many alumni all over the world in Asia, and we would like to collaborate for SDGs, to achieve SDGs for better society and sustainable society. So thank you so much for listening and hope you enjoy this forum for more collaboration. Thank you very much. Please have an enjoy.
Thank you very much, Professor Yokota, for your introduction. Now we will have a photo session. We would like to invite all of you to come forward to the stage for the photo session. Please come forward.
Yes. So maybe I ask all the alumni. So yes, please come to the stage and don't be shy. It's our event. So so please come up to the stage and we have a group photo together. Okay. Are you ready for photo? Group photo? Did you ask them to in the yes. So, any facts?
Okay.
Now, slide. We will put the KYUDAI NOW. The back side. Sorry, please.
Yes. Come on.
Ladies and gentlemen, please return to your seat. Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of Malaysia Kyushu University Alumni Association, KYUDAI, we would like to express our gratitude to the distinguished gentlemen from Kyushu University and Embassy of Japan. Therefore, we would like to present a token of appreciation to them. For that, we would like to invite Professor Sheikh Ahmad Zaki Sheikh Salim, President of KYUDAI, to come forward. For the first token recipient, we would like to invite Professor Akira Harada, Senior Vice President of Kyushu University and Deputy Director of Institute for Asian and Oceanian Studies. Please welcome Professor to the stage.
Thank you very much. これ消した方がいいよ、顔が全然。はい。
For the second token recipient, we would like to invite Mr. Atsushi Karimata, Minister of Embassy of Japan in Malaysia, to come forward.
Yes.
Next, we would like to invite Professor Suji Shimizu, Vice President of Kyushu University and Executive Research Director of Institute for Asian and Oceanian Studies.
Thank you very much.
Next, Professor Akira Harada will present the token of appreciation to Mr. Atsushi Karimata. And last but not least, Professor Suji Shimizu will present the token of appreciation to Professor Sheikh Zaki Sheikh Salim.
Okay, thank you very much for everything. Yeah.
Now, we would like to proceed to the session 1. In this session, we would like to invite 2 professors from agriculture and medical field. We will have 5 minutes Q&A time after each presentation. First presenter is Professor Ayumi Katayama. Dr. Ayumi Katayama is an associate professor of the Department of Agriculture, majoring in forest science, especially about carbon cycling, ecosystem function, and plant soil feedback in forest ecosystem. She has been studying tropical rainforest in Sarawak, Malaysia for more than 10 years. Today, she will introduce her researches conducted in Sarawak. The title of her presentation is Carbon Cycling in Bornean Tropical Rainforest. Professor Katayama, please, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much. So I'm very happy to be here and to share my research with you in Malaysia. So thank you very much for inviting me and organizing this forum and coming here. So, yeah. Okay. Oh, ありがとうございます。Yeah. So my name is Ayumi Katayama. So first of all, I want to introduce my institute. So I belong to the Faculty of Agriculture. Faculty of Agriculture, but at the same time, I belong to the University Forest. Kyushu University have 3 university forests. One in Fukuoka, it is close to the campus, and the second is Miyazaki. And the third one is in Hokkaido. So it is very cold in Hokkaido, of course, and it is a little calm in Fukuoka. So we have various kinds of forest, and the climate condition is also different among 3 forests. So we have many kinds of field course, field exercise to students, and also conduct various kinds of researches in Kyushu University Forest. So I belong to the Shiba Research Forest here. So this University Forest is located in Shiba. Shiba is a really mountainous area and the isolated area. So there are no shops, no restaurants, but there are many beautiful mountains and forests and rivers and various kinds of animals, plants, and trees, and ecosystems. So we have accommodation, and you can stay the accommodation in the university forest. So please come to our university forest when you come to Japan next time. We always welcome you. So now I want to start talking about my research. I have been studying carbon cycling in the tropical rainforest in Sarawak of Borneo Island for more than 10 years. And the forest is the Lambil Hills National Park. We can go this park for 40 minutes by car from Miri Airport. And we have a crane facility inside the forest, and this is me. And we can access anywhere in the forest using this crane. But unfortunately, the crane is old and no more useful. Very unfortunate. So today I want to introduce some of my research conducted in this forest. So as you know, CO2 is one of greenhouse gas, and it is important to evaluate global carbon cycling. This is the figure reported in IPCC. Carbon cycling means how much carbon is absorbed and released and also stored in each ecosystem. Carbon is exchanged in each ecosystem, but the largest carbon exchange is occurred in vegetation ecosystem. Vegetation can absorb a lot of carbon by photosynthesis, but at the same time, vegetation also releases a lot of carbon. So it is very important to evaluate how much carbon is released, absorbed, and stored in vegetation ecosystem. The tropical rainforests have a significant role on global carbon cycling. For example, tropical forests absorb approximately 1/3 of the amount of carbon that terrestrial vegetation absorbs. Also, tropical forests contributed more than half of carbon stock of total vegetation. The change of carbon cycling in tropical forests can influence global carbon cycling, so it is necessary to evaluate carbon cycling in tropical forests to understand and predict carbon cycling in global scale. So here, I would like to introduce carbon cycling in forest ecosystems briefly. First, carbon is assimilated by photosynthesis in leaves. The absorbed carbon is used for production and respiration for leaves, stem, and root. The carbon used for respiration is released to the air, whereas carbon for production is stored in the ecosystems. So it is important to how much carbon is used for production and respiration for leaf, stem, and root. And these production and respiration is estimated using this unit, megagram C per hectare per year. So many studies about carbon cycling have been conducted in tropical forests, but most studies were conducted in Amazonian forests and a few studies in Asian tropical forests. But we don't know whether carbon cycling is similar or different between Asian and Amazonian forests because there are many differences between the forests. For example, there is no clear seasonal dry month in Asian tropical forests. Tree height is higher and more big trees are observed in Asian tropical rainforests. These differences may result in higher biomass, that is tree volume, in Asian tropical rainforests. These differences can result in different characteristics in carbon cycling between Asian and Amazonian forests. So our objective to estimate production and respiration for leaf, stem, and root in Borneo tropical rainforest, and also to compare each component with Amazonian forest and characterize carbon cycling in this forest. So the studies was conducted in Danville Hills National Park, and the park is covered with the lowland mixed dipterocarp forest, which is the typical tree families in Southeast Asian tropical rainforest. The important characteristics of this forest is high above ground biomass. The above ground biomass is higher, much higher than those in Amazonian forest. And we conduct studies using the 4-hectare study plot established in this forest. So usually a leaf production is estimated this equipment, litter trap. So leaf fall is trapped in this equipment and bring to the laboratory and wait dry months and measure every month and estimated annual leaf production. For stem production estimate, it is common to measure diameter of tree at breast height, but this photo did not show breast at breast height because of the buttress. So usually we measure diameter at breast height for all trees in study plot. And we measure diameter for all trees in every year, and the tree volume can be estimated using the measured diameter and the alumni model. And then the annual increment of each tree volume is summed, and then annual stem growth unit ground area can be estimated. For fine root production, it is more difficult to estimate. We use ingress core method. Ingress core is like this one, made by mesh. And first we collect the soil core and put the ingress core mesh, and then put root-free soil into the mesh core, and then incubate for 1 year. And after 1 year, we collect this one, and this divided fine root was divided from the soil. The dry mass of the root was assumed as annual production. So this is the result of the production of fine root, stem production, and the leaf production. So the important result is the higher fine root production and the comparable stem production and the leaf production, despite the higher above ground biomass. So these are the results of the obtained in Amazonian forest. So the fine root production is higher, but the stem and the leaf production are comparable to those in Amazonian forest. So we found below ground productivity was high, but above ground was not so high in this forest. And the next is respiration. So can you find me in this photo? So I'm here. So I was measuring stem respiration using the ladders, and the tree height is about 40 meters. So I measure the stem respiration along the stem because there is a spatial variation in stem respiration along the stem. So yeah, sometimes I climb the tree, sometimes I use the plane. And the stem respiration was also measured at breast height. And I measured stem respiration for many trees and many times because stem respiration varied with tree size, stem growth rate, and the soil moisture condition. Considering spatial and temporal variation in respiration, annual stem respiration on a ground basis was estimated. And as a proxy of root respirations, soil respiration was measured using this equipment. We measured soil respiration in various locations and many times, and examined the factors controlling soil respiration in this forest. considering spatial and temporal variation in respiration, annual soil respiration on a ground basis was estimated. And this is the result of the respiration. This is above ground biomass in the semi-respiration, leaf respiration, and total respiration. So other researchers already measured leaf respiration in this forest and they published a paper. We use their data. So despite the higher above ground biomass, stem respiration was again comparable to, this is our result, and this is the result from Amazonian forest. So the stem respiration was again comparable to those in Amazonian forest. So this is because stem surface area, not the stem volume, is a factor for scaling to ground basis estimate. And the surface area was comparable to Amazonian forest. And the last result is the soil respiration. Extremely high soil respiration was observed in our forest. Soil respiration composed of root respiration and the microbial respiration. Microbial respiration is related to organic matter decomposition. The soil respiration is strongly related to leaf production. So the soil respiration in this forest was much higher than that expected by leaf production measured in this forest. This is caused by high root respiration, turnover, and activity. Poor nutrient condition was observed in this forest, so high above ground biomass under the poor nutrient condition can be supported by the high below ground activity. High soil moisture throughout the year also supported the high microbial activity in this forest. So in conclusion, high below ground productivity and activity was found in this forest. This is caused by the necessity to support high above ground biomass under poor nutrient condition. High humidity throughout the year supports also microbial activity. These findings were obtained only in Lambu National Park, so more research in different agents of the rainforest should be conducted to understand the characteristics in carbon cycling in Asian tropical rainforest. So thank you very much. Terima kasih.
So we have a 5 minutes Q&A session. Do you have any questions?
Thank you for the presentation. I'm just wondering if, because you mentioned in the conclusion that it's suggested to try out different ASEAN rainforests. So have you identified the different zones available in the ASEAN region, or is there any at all?
Yeah, actually, there is a very famous study site in Malaysia. So Pasol, do you know the Pasol? I don't know the city name, but Pasol is located in Peninsula Malay. And in Pasol, it has a long study history. And in 1960s, the Japanese researcher came to Pasol, the Peninsula Malay, and they conducted a lot of studies about carbon cycling. And now the research is continuing, but other team. And but not the same study, but related to carbon cycling.
Okay, I meant other perhaps other countries in Asia besides Malaysia? Probably Indonesia or
Yeah.
Philippines or Thailand.
Yes.
Yeah, have you identified the different zones of rainforest as possible?
Yeah, it's possible, but in Indonesia, so the forest type are a little different, and now the research conducted in the oil palm have been increasing, or the carbon cycling in oil palm in Malaysia and also Indonesia. So I conducted studies for natural forest. So dipteral carpet forest, this is not so many researches in the natural forest.
There are not many natural rainforests left.
Yes, right.
Unfortunately.
So yeah, it is very difficult to find a good research site. And I want to find a good research site of the dipteral carpet forest, but it is very difficult.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Be one last question. So if not, thank you again, Professor Kapila.
Thank you very much.
Next presenter is Professor Koji Todaka. Dr. Koji Todaka is a director and professor of Center for Clinical and Translational Research, Kyushu University Hospital. He also practices as a cardiologist. He has been engaged in basic research about heart failure, cardiac function at the Columbia University, New York. After spending several years as an interventionist in Japan, he went on loan to Pharmaceuticals and Medical Devices Evaluation Center, later became PMDA, Ministry of Health, as a medical reviewer, as an academic research organization, Center for Clinical and Translational Research of Kyushu University Hospital was restructured. He was appointed as Vice Director of the Center and then the Director. As a pharmaceutical affairs specialist, he is committed to develop the practical application for medical seeds, which are research discoveries with potential of new therapies, and is looking for possible international collaborative development of new medicine or devices, especially of researcher origin. The title of his presentation today is The Importance of Academic Research Organization in Recent Medical Product Research and Development. Professor Todaka, please. Floor is yours.
Thank you very much for your kind introduction. First of all, I would like to express my sincere gratitude for having me to present here. Again, I'm Koji Todaka, and this is a little self-introduction of myself as an icebreaker. This was an old photo. You may not recognize, but this was me. Younger, didn't wear glasses, and most importantly, thin. Anyway, then I went on to PMDA, the Ministry of Health, the section that reviews the new drug applications as a medical reviewer. This was also 20 years ago. Then I, got into this business. And I would like to introduce our hospital first a little bit. And our hospital is established in 1879, almost 150 years ago. It is actually older than the Kyushu University itself. This was established by the feudal lord, the samurai lord, established this medical school. Then it joined the Kyushu University like 1911. And according to Newsweek's journal, our hospital ranks in 68th in the world and 4th in Japan for some, I don't know what for some level. And we are very proud of this ranking. And this was a repetition that Dr. Yokota said. We have many international partners, also in Malaysia. And we have many exchange scholars and students all over the world, and 42 countries, and more than 500 people. And this is the, finally, I start my talk today. This is the classical chart of the drug development from the basic research to the market. This is the actual product, which doctors can prescribe or give patients. Of course, it is not good enough for you researchers have the good result in the basic research. Before getting to this development process, you have to have the good formulation of the drug, not the substance, to make a drug itself. And after that, you have to have the good toxicological outcome. That means that it may not harm the normal tissues as tested in the animals. Then finally, you can give this drug candidate to a human. This is the clinical trial phase. And this, the lower panel and the funnel shape graphically represents the concept of the, you can screen 30,000 compounds, and only one of them, 1 in 30,000, became the actual drug. That means other 29,999 substance was abandoned or was stopped for the development. That means those costs are on this one product. That is because the cost of the drug development is very expensive, like $100 million on average. And it takes a long time, like more than 10 years. This is an example of the cholesterol lowering drug called the pravastatin. In 1974, a doctor found some good candidate of the substance called compactin in the soil of the institute. Then after like 15 years, then it became a product called mevaltin, and it sums up a sale of $1.5 billion a year. It's a big reward. And the story that I told was old story, kind of old story, classical story. This is a new one. And this shows that the new drugs approved in these periods by US FDA. Of course, the FDA, the United States has the largest number of the drugs actually developed. But please look at the contents of the origin. These brown and the yellow and the green bars are from the academia or startup small companies. Only less than half are from the pharmaceutical company itself. This is nowadays trend. These are the examples of, in Japan. And these are 4 anti-cancer drugs. They are based on the findings in academia. The rightmost column is the good example. It's Dr. Honjo's findings. Dr. Honjo is a Nobel laureate in Kyoto University. He found the principle in the cancer cell. This is the graphical drawings that the cancer cell, tumor cell, it's called tumor cell here, shows a fake signal on their own surface that says that I'm a good cell, I'm a good cell, and this is the white blood cell, I'm a good cell, therefore don't attack me. This is called the PD-L1. And if you block this receptor on the white blood cell, it's called the PD-1. If you block by some antibody, then the white blood cell can attack this cancer cell again. This is the principle of the drug, famous drug called Opdivo. And this is the new chart of the drug development nowadays. Academia origin, or startup small company origin, or pharmaceutical origin. This was the classical pathway. And nowadays, the academia, university itself can develop to a certain extent. But the output is not here because only the pharmaceutical company can sell the drugs, of course. And the academia cannot license the drug itself by themselves. So at some point, the academia has to sell those licenses to the pharmaceutical companies. The catch is, if you sell those licenses to the pharmaceutical company in the early stage of the development, because the value of this discovery is not determined yet at this stage. That is why the estimation of the value is low around here. So we are now developing to a certain extent, hopefully to a clinical stage. We can run physician-initiated clinical trials here. Then we can show the proof of concept in clinical trials in humans. Then the value is very high. The royalties of the sales we can get from this licensing is 1% around here, 5% here, is as much as 10% here. Actually, this happened in the Dr. Honjo's case. Dr. Honjo sold the license very early stages. The same kind of chart, the time flows from left to right. And we have three valleys, the pitfalls. First one is a devil liver. The second one is called the death valley. And the third one is Darwinian sea. We have functions, the ARO. I will talk about what the ARO is later. Our ARO has these functions to fill this gap. And also we have these functions to fill the gap on the clinical trial stages. And the ARO is an organization in which universities that have research institutions and medical institutions utilize their functions to support drug development, including pre-clinical phase. And there are about 10 universities to have these functions. The famous example is the Harvard's Baim Institute or Duke's DCRI. And the Kyushu University is certified by both the Ministry of Education and Ministry of Health. And this is the organizational chart of my institution. and I'm responsible for the preclinical and clinical phase. And we have 100 expertise in our intramural, about 100 staffs, and 2 of them are there today. And these are the examples of the our products, our supported products from the Kyushu University. The upper one is the bone filler. The substance is the same as the natural bone, and this became the de facto standard of the alveolar bone replacement in the dental implants. And the lower panel shows the ophthalmic dye to make it easy to operate on the eyeball. And this was invention of Dr. Ishibashi. He became the president of the Kyushu University. And these 2 are the technologies of the Kyushu University. We can use them to develop the drugs. The upper one is from the agriculture department, Dr. Sakabe's Kaiko strain, the silkworm that produces less threads and is susceptible to baculovirus, which is not a very good characteristic. So this is discontinued in the wild. It is continued only in the Kyushu University, but we use this characteristics, which is infectious to baculovirus. We use the baculovirus to introduce any protein we planned, and we can use make this silkworm as a protein factory, very high yield protein factory. And the lower panel is that the transcutaneous absorption method. Professor Dr. Goto invented this method. He can make that the very big compounds molecule larger than 500 Dalton is absorbed through the normal skin. Yep, these are the ongoing projects. The upper panel is that the catheter to stimulate the vagus nerve of the heart. It can slow the heartbeat and protect the heart in the situation of the myocardial infarction and so on. The lower one is that we have robot, and this one is very small and inexpensive because it uses only one motor. It can support the 5 fingers only one motor. And also we collect the seed technologies from the Western Japan that we make the network consisting of 26 universities. And this white panel shows that the kind of virtual funding using the pharmaceutical companies' money to introduce or attract those researchers who have the seed technologies. This is the ecosystem. Dr. Katayama talked about the actual ecosystem. This is the business ecosystem. The basic research, we help them to make it licensable. And if you license it to the company, you can have the royalties. And we use that royalty to fund another basic research. And we can turn this eco cycle again and again. And also, we are interested in the international collaborations. This is the network that Dr. Shimizu built in the Department of International Affairs. And we have the collaboration with the University of Malaya Legal Center. And this one is the, actually this is Dr. Yokota's project, right? Maternity handbook, electronic maternity handbook in Indonesia. And also, we joined the new network called ARO Alliance in Asian and East Asia, which is led by the Japanese National Center for Global Health and Medicine. And the Kyushu University joined this network last year. And in Malaysia, Clinical Research Malaysia, CRM is listed. And as a regulation, a good news is that your country, the Malaysia Ministry of Health, just changed the policy last November. It says that it references the prior assessment from a reference authority or trusted institution. Basically, it says that it trusts what the PMDA, Japanese authority, reviewed. If the review is trustable, then it can expedite the Malaysia's review. It only takes 120 review days. It's very short. It usually takes a year to review a drug. So it will expedite if the PMDA had approved. Anyway, this is the last slide, take-home messages. The development strategy of the new drug and the new medical devices has changed drastically. The academia origin drug development or medical device drug development is the mainstream nowadays. And ARO functions in university itself are essential for that purpose. And the royalties to turn around the ecosystem. The bigger the ecosystem and the more diverse the ecosystem is, the better it is. So we're going to get together. Thank you very much.
Sensei, konnichiwa. My name is Khairul Anwar, alumni of Kyushu University from Hospital Campus, Faculty of Dentistry in 2016. My former supervisor is Professor Kunio Ishikawa. Okay, my first question regarding the procedure to make the product commercialized. Now I become a researcher in Malaysia and also develop new products, especially for human application. For example, I develop artificial human bone to bone replacement, number one. And number two, I also develop material to carry a drug in nano size. Okay, for example, to treat anti-cancer, anti-therapy, and etc. So my question is, because in Malaysia, to commercialize a product is very hard. It's very hard, the procedure, from the fundamental idea to the prototype, to the preclinical trial until to get commercialized. I just seen your new slide just now, because previously we referred to the US FDA procedure to make the product to be commercialized in the market. But first time I seen that we are referring to a Japanese procedure to get approval for commercialized product. Maybe my question to you, Sensei, is how you manage, for example, from the ideas, from the prototype, and then for clinical trials. So how you can make sure that you can shorten the period to commercialize the products? Because in Malaysia it's very hard. It takes about, because I'm involved in academic almost 8 years. So until now, we still not have the product yet in the market. Because now we are depending on US product, even from Japan regarding the for bone artificial human bone. So how you can see the potency, how we can reduce the time in order to get the product commercialized? Thank you, Sensei.
Well, thank you very much for the question, and this is very important and hard to answer. It is not said in a word. This is high risk, very high risk, and high return business. You said that in 8 years you don't have any approved products. It happens. It does happen, but you have to bear that, and you can't give up. The point is you don't give up, and that you pick up the many possible seeds, and see around, look around, and especially this is my personal opinion. The potential product or the substance or the prototype is also important, but much more important is who is doing that business, doing that research. Look at that person. If that person or researcher is looking for any income or money, or if he or she wants to run his or her lab by attaining any funding, it is not good. If he or she is very eager to bring that drug to the patient, if that's the goal, if you can find it, if you have the conversation with him or her, then it becomes an actual successful product. Otherwise, how good is the potential of the product? The person who developed that is not good oriented. It fails. That's my opinion.
All right, thank you, Sensei. Very good tips for me. Thank you very much.
Is there any question?
Okay, konnichiwa, Sensei. My name is Nicholas. I'm from University Malaysia, Sabah. I'm not a Kyushu University alumni. Hopefully, one day I will be Kyushu University alumni working together.
Yeah, me too.
So I'd like to ask a question that ties together the ecosystem and the ecosystem that you all talk about. I actually have two postgraduate students. They are doing research now to go to look for the traditional beliefs of the people in Borneo, the native people of Borneo, to find products, herbal medicinal products that may have some benefit in certain psychiatric disorders. I'm a psychiatrist, so I want to find products that. So how does this tie into academia origin drug development? What is our role as academia in this? Because the product actually belongs to the forest, to the people. How do we do all of this, the things that you mentioned earlier, do the trials, everything, without sort of taking away the rights of the people of the land who own this?
I think thank you for the question. I think it's a problem of the intellectual property. If you find an actual active substance which is efficacious to the psychiatric disorders, if you find that kind of substance from the natural herb, I recommend you to have some loyalty to the domestic people, and you persuade them that we don't, you don't take away any rights from the herbal medicine or anything. We are just to find the actual efficacious substance from your herb. And that finding is basically belongs to you, the finder. At the same time, you have to have the respect to those domestic people. Then I give them, and after you successfully getting any license, and then the part of the license, you will give part of the license to them. You know, that's the how to say, connection, you know, you trust each other, and then you can have that kind of business development, you know.
Right, thank you very much, Professor Petra. Sorry. Give a big applause to both presenters. Now the session 1 is over. We will have the coffee break until 4 p.m. So coffee is ready for the participants and outside of this room. So please come back at 4 p.m. Thank you.
Yes, すいません。もうすぐ始まります。すいません。So please grab the food and then come back to the hall. We will start soon.
Ladies and gentlemen, now we would like to proceed to session 2. In this session, we will have 4 presenters from engineering and science fields. After each presentation, we will have 5 minutes for Q&A. The first presenter is Professor Yasutaka Tsuji. He started as an assistant professor in the Department of Mechanical Engineering at Kyushu University since 2008. He also worked as a part-time lecturer at Fukuoka Women's University from 2004 to 2011. In 1997, he worked at Power Reactor and Nuclear Fuel Development Corporation in Tokaimura. His current research interests include optimization algorithms and their applications, as well as programming education. The title of his presentation today is Development of Swarm Intelligence Algorithm for Combinatorial Optimization Problems with Compact Constraints Application to Railway System. Please welcome Professor Yasutaka Tsuji.
Thank you. I'm happy to have the opportunity to visit Malaysia. Thank you. So today I'd like to talk about the railway systems and computational algorithms for railway systems. Our convenient daily life is greatly supported by various systems. When we make online purchase, the product is delivered to us during the preferred time slot. And when we go somewhere, we usually use public transportation. These systems utilize numerous equipment and human resources. So the efficient operation of these resources is very important. So railway system can efficiently transport large number of passengers to distant city and mitigate traffic jam in large city. So the railway system can be set very favorable environment. On the other hand, railway operator is required to design a convenient and safe train schedule and determine an efficient operation of resources for exacting train schedule. Then perform various levels of maintenance. So these are very large and complex planning or scheduling program. So this is called mathematically combinational optimization program. The reduction of environmental cost is becoming more and more important today. So the development of computational methods to reduce environmental cost and operational cost is highly required. Therefore, we have focused on the development of algorithms for railway rolling stock planning. Schedule of train trip can be represented by this figure. Sorry. So this is called diagram. In the figure, horizontal axis shows the time, and the vertical axis represents the station. So, both line correspond to train trip. So, in the schedule, there are 9 train trips, and only station C has inspection facility. In the planning, there are 4 elements we have to treat. First one, we need to divide all train trips into several sequences. If necessary, we have to set up deadhead trips. And the second, we need to determine the timing of the simple inspection. So, right. So, this is deadhead trips. The inspection can be performed during this long waiting time. And lastly, we need to assign a specific train unit to each sequence. The number of the sequence corresponds to the required number of train units. Typically, these are needed to be determined to minimize the required number of train units and deadhead cost. And while satisfying this constraint, all train units must undergo inspection regularly. To make this inspection, we must also determine the rotation of train unit simultaneously, like this. So to treat this complex problem, mass matter network model has been proposed. In the model, the edge length is calculated by considering various conditions. And the edge where inspection can be done marked this black mark. The rolling stock planning can be viewed the problem of finding the optimal route that includes regular inspection. So we developed a new method based on anti-colony optimization to search the optimal route as which satisfies the inspection constraint. So anti-colony optimization is a searching method that mimics the behavior of ants swarm. The anti-colony SCO is consists of 2 processes. One is solution construction, the other is one update. In the solution construction, ant agent create later route by working on this graph. So this ant started from position 1 and move on to position 2. It's probabilistically select next position from remaining the number 3, number 4, number 5. The selection probability is calculated by this value. So this process is repeated until the ant construct visit all positions. After all ant create route, the best ant can increase its pheromone update, pheromone value. So ant 2 can increase his pheromone value like this. ACO can search for optimal solution by repeating two processes many times. We propose ACO-based approach for solving the railway rolling stock planning. Essentially, we employ the original base ICO, but to address the regular inspection, we implement two mechanisms into solution construction. First, an agent can remember the inspection time. Next, an agent can preferentially select inspection feasible edge at the specified time. We embedded the process into ACO algorithm program. So this is an instance for numerical experiment. This Kyushu Island we came from here, and we selected the 3 instances for numerical experiment. This is a small scale line diagram. So we can obtain several information from this diagram. Initially, we can read the number of current trips running simultaneously at each time. So this is 7 o'clock. We count 7 train units running. At this time, the highest number of train is running. This indicates that more than 7 train units are required to operate this line. Next, we count the difference between departing and entering trips at all stations. The total number of them represents the minimum number of deadhead trips. So this case is middle line scale line. More than 30 train units are required to operate this line. This is the largest line as you can see, this line is so huge and very congested. So this is a numerical extreme. This is an example of solutions obtained by our approach. This black lines represent the train trips, and the red line represent the inspection, and the arrow indicates the deadhead. Indeed, the proposed SCO can obtain a solution that satisfies the regular inspection constraint. In real operations, there is more complex operational form known as splitting and combining operations. Combining means that multiple train units are combined into one single train unit and operated as one. Splitting means reverse operations. The following picture example of large-scale instances. So we propose an extended network model to address such a very difficult problem. In the extended model, combined train trips are represented on multiple train trips running simultaneously between the same station. The proposed SCO can be easily applied to this extended model. We consider this is an advantage of our approach. As a result, we achieve good performance for this splitting and combining problem. So, future, we have developed a new SCO approach to address rolling stock planning. The proposed approach incorporates crafted mechanism to handle the problem-specific constraint. This means if a new constraint is introduced, the proposed approach would require corresponding new mechanism. So now in the future, we plan to develop a learning-based approach to avoid such a problem. This figure outlines our new approach. That data are input to neural network, and the neural network generates the schedule automatically. As a preliminary study, we tackle the multi-depot recruiting problems. So multi-depot recruiting problems aim to find optimal route for people originating from different depots in order to efficiently serve customers and minimize transportation costs simultaneously. In this program, we need to determine the number of optimal routes and also which depot should serve each customer. Here's an example of our approach to result. In this application, the location customer, home customer, and the loading capacity limit of each vehicle are input data. These data are input to neural network. The neural network generates optical loop like this. That's all. Thank you for the kind attention.
Thank you, Professor Suji. Now we are open for question and answer session. Is there any queries from the floor? In case I would like to ask a question. When you propose this optimization to the railway operator, how did they accept it? Is it okay for them, or they have any problems in implement the proposed from you?
So
how is the practical implementation? Is it they can execute your proposed algorithm?
I propose algorithm. So new algorithm.
Okay. So any problem in the when you no problem.
Actually, this now is no, because most of the train railway company has their original train rules. So we have to implement such a rule with our algorithm.
Any other questions?
I have one question. Thank you for the nice presentation. I just would like to know, for your case, is it Densha, in this case, the velocity of the Densha, is it constant in your consideration or basically varies? The velocity.
Train trips velocity is decided by railway companies. So but this is deadhead position. We said the deadhead velocity is constant value.
Okay. I have one more. You mentioned the splitting and combining.
Yes.
When we split, Did you mean the split side by side or front and rear, back to back? Can you explain a bit on splitting and combining part? Yeah, can you explain a bit on these two?
So, in this application, we didn't consider what you mentioned. So basically, we create the solution from this network model. So therefore, our approach can be applied to diagram splitting and combining the form. So that's I think that's a problem.
Okay, thank you so much. Okay, thank you, Professor Yasutaka Suji.
Ladies and gentlemen, the second presenter is Professor Mitsugu Todo. He is from the Research Institute for Applied Mechanics. He is currently organizing the Bioenergy Engineering Division. He is mainly working on the field of medical engineering, especially related to bone, joints, and cardiac tissue. He is also leading an interdisciplinary research project on the computer simulation of bone fracture with orthopedic surgeons of university hospitals in Japan. His specialty is in biomechanics, biomaterials, and computational mechanics. The title of his presentation today is Biomechanical and Biomaterial Studies in Orthopedic Science. Please welcome Professor Mitsugu Todo.
Thank you for nice introduction. And thank you for giving me this chance to make a presentation in this KYUDAI NOW forum. Actually, this is my fifth visit to Malaysia, and I used to have 7 PhD students from Malaysia, and 5 of them are working for Malaysian universities. So that's why I'm always happy to be here. Yes, let me start my talk. Okay, so my main field is basically engineering mechanics and material engineering. So then I'm trying to apply this method to solve clinical problems in orthopedics. So then primary objectives are to clarify the mechanisms involved in those medical problems and to develop new materials for clinical operations. Okay, so let me start from computational mechanical analysis for bone and joint problems. So, okay, those are typical diseases of bone and joints. So this is osteoarthritis. So we can see the very damaged bones and femoral bones, and also this is bone necrosis. Also severely damaged. We can see the severely damaged this head of femurs. Okay. So then for severely damaged those hip joints, so orthopedicians usually introduce this total hip arthroplasty, so artificial hip joint. So basically, we have 2 different types of hip joints: total hip arthroplasty and resurfacing hip arthroplasty. This RHA is now it's not so popular. Actually, main hip arthroplasty is I guess THA right now. So then, but this is very established good techniques, but still we have those kind of problems. So broken those hip joints and also broken bones, bone fracture and absorbed bones. Sometimes we can see this fracture of ceramic parts. So then computational mechanics may be able to solve those problems. So then we can use computational mechanics to understand the mechanisms involved in those complications. Okay, then I'll introduce CT image-based finite elemental analysis. So we need this kind of CT image. So in this case, I obtained this image from Kyushu University Hospital. Then we can develop three-dimensional computational model of this hip joint. Then we can set, for example, I'm sorry. Then also we can consider the distribution of elastic modulus from the distribution of bone density. Okay, so then we can introduce this kind of hip joint model. So we need a CAD model of hip joints. So in this case, I obtained this data from Kyocera Corporation. Then we can develop this THA model. Then after that, so sorry, let me go back. So we need to set this kind of so-called boundary conditions. We need loading conditions and fixed conditions. Then this is an example of results. So this is normal femoral bone. So this is the femoral bone after THA. So we can see the high concentration. This red portion is a high concentration of mechanical energy. It's a strain energy density. So then after THA, we lose the mechanical energy like this. So then if I plot this energy distribution from A to B, so we can get this kind of graph. So blue one is normal bone, and red one is THA bone, this. Okay, we can see a large reduction of mechanical energy. So this causes problems. So this is called the stress seeding effect. Then this patient may have a severe reduction of bone density. Okay. So another interesting problem is this. So using finite element analysis with microscopic damage formations, we can simulate bone fracture. Okay, like this. You can see bone fracture. Okay. So this is a cross-sectional image. So again, we can see bone. Let me start again. This is bone fracture, and we can see this micro damage formation and finally bone fracture. So then there are different types of bone fractures associated with total hip arthroplasty. So this is called the Vancouver classification. So there are different types of bone fractures. However, detailed mechanisms of those fractures have not been understood well. So then we can apply, for example, this kind of falling conditions to the THA modeling. Then we can get this kind of damage formation on the greater trochanter. So actually, this is very similar to the classification type AG. Okay, so that's why applying this kind of boundary condition, then we can check the mechanisms of this type AG. Okay, and another interesting result is came from this torsional condition. So if we apply this kind of torsional condition, then we can see this kind of damage formation very close to the tip of this stem metallic component. So this kind of damage and the bone fracture is very close to the type B2 fracture just at the distal to the stem with stem roots. So that's why applying this kind of torsional condition, then we can get this type B2 bone fracture. Okay. So those are results from the PhD work of Dr. Harim. So he's here over there. So he was a very good student. right now, I don't know. It's still good, I guess. Okay. So next topic is strength analysis of tibia with tumors. I'll be working with Dr. Fujimoto from Hyogo Cancer Center. So this young patient, she's only 20s. Then she has, unfortunately, tumors, two different tumors. Fortunately, this is not a bad one. This is a good one. So benign tumors. So then, however, so the doctor needs to remove these tumors. So that's why this doctor wants to know the reduction of strength due to the this bone reduction. Okay. So then we developed this 3D modeling with tumors, and also we are following this patient for 2 years. This is a pre-operative models. This is a post-operative 1 month. 1 month later of operation surgery. Then this is 1 year post-operative. This is 1.5 year, and this is 2 years. So we can see the removed tumors. Then also artificial bone materials are introduced into this part. Then we can see the gradual bone formations. Okay. So removal of tumors and regenerative treatment using artificial bone grafts. Then bone is regenerated very slowly. So then firstly, we checked the average value of bone mineral density. So under this pre-operative condition, this patient has this point about 6.8. Then after operation, post-operative 1 month, then we can see the big reduction of bone density, okay? Then slowly bone density is recovering like this. So then full working started at this point to activate the bone remodeling. Then this is a cross-sectional image of this bone removal part. So we can see this is a pre-operative condition. You can see these tumors. Then this was removed. Then put artificial bone substitute. Then slowly bone regenerated like this. Okay. So then we measure the this strength, rotational strength. Under this preoperative condition, the strength is 424. But after 1 month, post-operative condition, the reduction of strength is very large. So then after that, 1 year, 1.5 year, and 2 years, so strength is slowly recovering. Now, 2 years later, the strength is about 40%. Okay, so that's why still this patient must be very careful when she apply his tibia by like rotational movement. Okay, so another interesting problem is this total knee arthroplasty. So for very severely damaged knee joint, you can apply this kind of a total knee arthroplasty. So total artificial knee joint. Okay. So however, there is a problem. One of problem is like this fracture of post. Okay. So this is a ultra high molecular polyethylene. So this is a polymer. So there is a contact between polymer and the metal. Okay. This blue one is metallic part. So this white one is polymer. So this polymer post is contact with this metallic part. So that's why this polymer has very severe situation and this bending motion. So then we did this finite element analysis simulating this bending conditions. So we have contact between metallic part and the polymer part. Then we can get this stress distribution. please check this surface of post. You can see very high stress concentration here, okay? So this high stress concentration may cause the fracture of post and especially deep bending situations, okay? Another problem is fracture of nail. So this patient had broken this humerus. Humerus is a bone of this upper arm, okay? So she has a fracture here. Then this doctor inserted this nail, okay? This is made from titanium alloy. However, after this patient got back to his job, then this nail was broken, okay, like this. So now question is there a problem with this nail structure? So then we analyzed this mechanical deformation and fracture of this nail. So then we have a very severe stress concentration at this part. Sorry, it's a bit difficult to understand. Then we could simulate fracture of this nail, okay? Okay, so next topic is biomaterial studies for bone regeneration. So for this kind of diseases, tumors and cysts, so we may need to apply this artificial grafting. So this means artificial biomaterials are inserted into this removed part, okay? However, if bone regeneration is not very good, we may have this kind of bone fracture. So due to this insufficient bone generation. So that's why we need to develop more bioactive artificial biomaterials. So one of the concepts of the bioactive bone graft is like this. So we prepare this artificial biomaterials with porous structure. It's called the scaffold, and applying these stem cells. Then after some proliferation and differentiation, then we may be able to develop this kind of a bone-like tissue structure, artificial bone-like structure. Then we can transplant into this damaged bone. So that's why development of scaffold with mechanical and biological compatibility is very important. And also materials, I mean, fat kind of materials, and we used, and also structure are key factors in the scaffold development. So then now we can fabricate this kind of very unique porous structure by using hydroxyapatite. However, this kind of structure shows very brittle fracture behavior and also having very low strength. So that's why I'm trying to improve this mechanical properties by introducing the polymer phase. So this upper part is porous hydroxyapatite with PCl coating. PCl is a biodegradable polymer with medical grade. So this is a coated hydroxyapatite planes. So the second one is we call this two-phase porous structure with spongy PCl. You can see hydroxyapatite porous structure with polymer porous structure. Okay, so we call this two-phase porous structure. So then I compare the mechanical properties. This is a compressive strength, and also I increase the PCl concentration. So this 0% means pure hydroxyapatite structure. So you can see great improvement of strength like this. And also coating is better than two-phase structure. So without polymer phase, we have this kind of brittle fracture behavior. However, if we introduce a polymer phase, due to this polymer ductile deformation, so then we can improve this kind of strength, okay? Okay, this is another biomaterial we developed. So this is a beta TCP. Beta TCP is a very similar bioceramics with hydroxyapatite. Then we prepare collagen scaffold, and beta TCP particles are distributed. So this is called beta TCP filled collagen scaffold. And also another type of scaffold. We prepare firstly beta TCP porous structure, then we introduce spongy collagen phase into this porous structure. So we prepared two different, but the basic materials are same, beta TCP and collagen, but a different structure. Then mesenchymal stem cells were injected into the scaffold and differentiated into osteoblast cells, which create bone tissues. So by controlling chemical condition. So we compared this biological properties. First one is cell viability. We check the number of cells. Okay. So after 3 weeks culture, so 28 days, so cells are nicely increased. And from here, we can say two-phase is better than particle field type. Also, we checked ALP activities. So in the first part, particle field is better than two-phase. But after 28 days, 3 weeks, so ALP activity is about the same. So we checked type 1 collagen and osteocollagen. Then those are very important ones for bone structures. So then after 28 days, about type 1 collagen is about same. So for both different type of scaffold. However, we can see very big difference of this osteocollagen. So in this case, particle field is better than two-phase. Okay. So after 28 cultures, we can see this kind of a very primitive structure of bones. Okay, you can see collagen fibers with calcified matrix. So and for both materials. Okay, so actually in terms of mechanical properties, this two-phase is better than particle field. However, if we think of the biological properties, we may be able to say particle field is better than two-phase. Okay. Okay. This is my conclusion. So, in the field of medical science, there are many unsolved clinical problems which are strongly related to mechanics and material science. So, meanwhile, engineering researchers have profound knowledge in scientific fields. However, they don't know how to apply their knowledge and skills to medical science. So joint research group of medical doctors and engineering researchers may have chances to solve such problems and could contribute greatly to the development of medical science. Okay, thank you for your attention.
We now open to question and answer.
At the first part of your presentation, you shows how you create back the 3D model using finite element analysis. Right, Sensei? So may I know how you differentiate between, because you are studying the bone fracture inside the implantation. So how you can differentiate whether that one is a fracture, the fragment from the bone or tissue or the original bone itself from the implantation area. Do you use any special equation how you translate from the CT scan towards the 3D model to differentiate between the soft tissue, the fragment from the bone itself, and also the original bone from the implantation?
Actually, this is computational modeling of bones. So fracture means, in a method, bone fracture means the damaged finite elements. So when, for example, tensile stress reached its critical value, we consider this element was fractured. But actually, it's not fractured. It's just a reduction of elastic modulus. So it's just like become very soft. So under compressive stress condition, it's the same. So we are saying just this reduction of elastic modulus is fracture. So that's why, and also we are not introducing like soft tissue or everything is just hard in our bone modeling.
Yes, thank you, Sensei. I have another question. Based on your CT scan, and then you recreate back the 3D model, right, Sensei? So what kind of method that you create from the 2-slice 2D CT scan into the 3D model? Do you use any specific methods to do that, or any equation involved behind that?
I'm sorry, I don't know about the equations, but so we can get the bone shape from this 2D image, bone shape. Then usually slicing distance is about 2 millimeter. So we can get many 2D images, I mean, of bones. Then using those 2D images of bone shape, then we can create a 3D modeling, connecting those 2D.
Meaning that, Sensei, you are using the meshing method, meaning that you're combining all the slices?
Yeah, combining all the slices. Then firstly, we can develop 3D models of bone.
Okay.
Just outer surface. So inside there is nothing. So then after that, we can make it just a single material solid. So then using the CT images, we can get the distribution of CT values, which is corresponds to the distribution of bone density. Then we can introduce this distribution of bone density into this 3D modeling.
Okay, I understand. Okay. Very clear. Thank you, Sensei. Thank you very much.
Okay. Thank you, Professor Mitsugu Todo.
Okay, thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, the third presenter is Professor Kazuyuki Yagi. He is from the Department of Mechanical Engineering, Faculty of Engineering, Kyushu University. He received his doctoral degree from Tokyo Institute of Technology in 2002. After that, he worked in Tokyo University of Science and was a postdoctoral fellow in France. His research field is in tribology, which deals with friction, wear, and lubrication. His research interests in tribology are the rheology of the elastrohydrodynamic frame, the control of lubrication performance by surface texturing, in situ observation of contact areas, and the influence of hydrogen environments on friction, wear, and lubrication. The title of his presentation today is Introduction to Studies of Tribology Group at Kyushu University. Please welcome Professor Kazuyuki Yagi.
Okay, thank you very much for your nice introduction. My name is Kyushu Yagi. I'm a professor at the Department of Mechanical Engineering, the Faculty of Engineering. The title of this presentation is Introduction to Studies of Tribology Group at Kyushu University. First of all, I'd like to express my sincere thanks to the organizing committee of this forum and attendees from Malaysia as well. It's very a pleasure for me to be invited in this forum because it's a quite nice opportunity for me to meet many researchers from Malaysia. So I hope that we can communicate fluently with each other and lead to collaborations in the near future as well. Before proceeding to presentation, I'd like to introduce myself briefly. My name is Kazuyuki Yagi. I'm position as a professor in the research field of tribology on friction, wear, and lubrication. I obtained a PhD degree from Tokyo Institute of Technology in 2002. After that, I have several experiences to work for several institutions. And since 2006, I have joined Kyushu University, and I was promoted to a professor last July. The outline of this presentation is as follows. Firstly, I would like to introduce tribology. What is tribology? Tribology is a science and technology of interacting substances in relative motion and of the practices related to their tool. This term was defined by just report of the British Department of Education and Science in 1966. Tribology is a science and technology on basically friction, wear, and lubrication, so on. So we must deal with all of the phenomena occurring in contact area with relative motions such as friction, wear, noise, fatigue, heat, vibrations, absorptions, purification, chemical reactions, so on. Rule of tribology, we have many rules on tribology. In contact areas, contact area must support load and increasing or decreasing friction. For example, in the case of the tires, we must increase the friction to have a high grip. But in the case of rolling element bearings and sliding bearings, we must decrease friction as well as possible. In the increasing decreasing wear. In the case of pencils, it's necessary to increase wear so that carbon can be transferred on papers. And normally it's necessary to decrease wear in machine element. And for sound, for musical instrument, it's necessary to make sound, but normally stick motions, it's quite noisy, so normally it's necessary to eliminate the sound. And working and painting surfaces are also important factor, important rule on tribology. And preventing fluid leakage is also quite an important rule on tribology. And recently, reduction of the energy consumption is a quite important task in the field of tribology. As you know, friction losses cannot be ignored for internal combustion engines as a machine element as well. As shown in this graph, friction losses in internal combustion engines dominate about more than 30% of total energies generated in petrol. So if we could reduce friction losses, the impact of the reduction of friction is a quite big impact to save energies. Next, I'd like to introduce the tribology group at Kyushu University. We have two laboratories on tribology at the Department of Mechanical Engineering. My laboratory professor is me, and I have assistant professor Dr. Tanaka and two technical staffs. And there is another laboratory on tribology named Machine Element and Design Engineering Laboratory. The head of the laboratory is Professor Sawai. His subject is biotribology and tribology in hydrogen environment. He has associate professor and assistant professor and postdoctoral fellow and technical staff as well. So we have cooperated with many research topics, especially hydrogen tribology in hydrogen environment. And we have another research center for hydrogen in industrial use and storage. This research center is about big. This research center has many departments like the fatigue and fracture, polymers, tribology, some physical properties, safety, international cooperation. The director of this research center is Professor Matsunaga. His subject research field is material strength. And we have two deputy director, Professor Nishimura. His subject topic is polymers, rubbers, and soft metals. And Professor Sawai is also deputy director, and he is head of tribology section. And more than 100 people, including students, graduate students, staff, and technical staff, have joined this research center to proceed with many researches in the many fields. So I'd like to proceed to studies, to introduce studies of the tribology group at Kyushu University. Firstly, I'd like to introduce tribology in hydrogen. Hydrogen is a quite important energy medium because hydrogen can generate electricity without emission of carbon dioxide. But hydrogen is the energy density per unit volume is quite small, so it's necessary to compress hydrogen gases in high pressure, nearly 100 megapascal. So the hydrogen is become very dangerous because of the high pressure, and the hydrogen can be fired with as a result of chemical reaction with oxygen. So we must pay attention so that the hydrogen can be used safely. And in order to use the hydrogen in high pressure, we must use many machineries, such as hydrogen production, compressors, storage container, dispenser, and FCV and pipelines, and so on. So in machinery, there are many machine elements surrounded in hydrogen environment, such as joint, screw joint, rolling element, bearings, the parking, the gasket, piston ring systems, and valves, and so on. So in order to use hydrogen safely, we must prevent leakage of hydrogen from the joint, the dispensers, the storage containers, compressors, and so on. And we must prevent the particle of rolling bearings and the leakage of hydrogen from steels. And hydrogen, as you know, hydrogen is the smallest of molecules, so hydrogen can enter into materials, rubbers, steels, aluminum, and so on. So hydrogen change characteristics of materials named hydrogen embrittlement. So we must understand the mechanisms of problems occurring in hydrogen environment. So we are the important task for safety use of hydrogen. This slide shows an example of rolling particle in hydrogen environment. We have conducted rolling particle test in hydrogen environment. This left graph indicates the influence of rolling particle on influence of environmental gases on rolling particle. As you can see, the rolling particle in hydrogen, rolling particle of rolling element in hydrogen environment is the smallest, like that. The rolling particle in hydrogen environment is shortened compared to air, like that. So the right graph indicates the amount of hydrogen absorbed in surfaces. You can see that the amount of hydrogen absorbed in surfaces was greatest in the case of a hydrogen environment. So we think that hydrogen enters into surfaces accelerated rolling particle. This slide shows the influence of impurity in hydrogen on air. This result was obtained by Professor Fukuda. Now his affiliation is MJIIT, but in past years he was working for Kyushu University as a research professor in our group more than 10 years ago. His contribution was quite big. He could find the importance of very small amount of impurity in hydrogen on wear and friction. This slide shows this graph indicates the relationship amount of wear and water concentration. Please make sure that the unit is ppm. Do you know the unit of ppm? Very small amount. 1 millionth, just 1 millionth. 1 ppm means just 1 millionth. Very small amount of water. Normally, such a small amount of water can be neglected. But in the case of hydrogen environment, even such a small amount of water cannot be ignored. Its impact is quite big. Professor Fukuda could develop the controlling system of humidity in wide range of concentration of water. Please make sure that the representation of both axes are logarithmic. So this means that there is a wide range of concentration of water. As you can see, the friction and wear changes depending on the concentration of water from 100 ppm to 0.2 ppm. So we could understand the importance of a very small amount of impurity of water in hydrogen. This slide shows also friction and wear of PTFE plastics in hydrogen. This research was led by Professor Sawai. Professor Fukuda also contributed to this research as well. And Professor Sugimura was my previous boss in my laboratory. Right graph indicates the relationship wear and the moisture content, water content, ppm order. So you can see that the wear and the friction changes with moisture content, and we can understand the wear rate increases with increasing moisture content, while the friction coefficient has a peak with increasing moisture content. And lower photographs indicate the surfaces after test. And the transfer layer of PTFE on contact surface changes depending on moisture content, even in such a small amount of water. So just 20 ppm, very small amount of water. This slide shows that it's different from hydrogen environment. It's just normal friction lubrication test. This slide shows the impact of textured substances in starved lubrication. It's a quite basic research. Recently, the viscosity of base lubricant oil has been required to decreased because friction in high dynamic lubrication should be decreased as well as possible. As a result of starvation, oil shortage tend to occur. But by using surface texturing such a pattern, it's quite useful to recover oil shortage in contact area. You can see that the friction can be decreased by using textured patterns on surfaces about half. incorporate the product services. This slide shows the impact of fluorine as an additive in lubricant oil. As you know, fluorine is a quite interesting material. The size is quite small, less than 1 nanometer. Diameter of fluorine is just 1 nanometer, and fluorine comprises of 60 just only carbon. But fluorine has very unique characteristics. So fluorine can be used in many fields, many research fields. So fluorine has a very big impact in the field of tribology. So we contained just a small amount of 10 ppm, 100 ppm, 1000 ppm of fluorine in base oil. But even such a small amount of fluorine can reduce friction in very high severe conditions. Fluorine can form very thin film of about 10 to 20 nanometer of very thin film on surfaces, but such a small thin film of lubricant film can reduce friction in severe conditions. This slide shows an insight observation of scuffing. Scuffing should be prevented because scuffing is a catastrophic failure occurring in contact area, resulting in stopping of machinery. So the scuffing should be prevented. So we have conducted insight observation of scuffing, so in order to understand the mechanisms of processes of scuffing like that. As the friction coefficient increases like that, in friction in contact area, plastic flow occurs like that. This maybe is just a visible image, but such a plastic flow can generate very high temperature rise, more than 1000 degrees Celsius in instantaneously. Like that. So I proceed to the next stage of this research by using very big institution on synchrotron. Fortunately, Japan has a very big institution which can generate a very strong intensive synchrotron beam. So Hyogo Prefecture around the center of Japan. So I designed a special simple test rig to compare it to the institution, and I conducted friction test at spring end. And as a result, I succeeded in obtaining variations in grain structures in contact area of steel. The frame rate of the images, and this spectrum is a result of XRD, X-ray diffraction techniques. The frame rate of capturing is 30 frames per second. So we could understand the changes in brain structures in contact area. So finally, I'd like to summarize this presentation. So summary, tribology plays an important role in energy savings, life and safety of machinery. Tribology is quite important. We believe that tribology is a very big, important research field to save energy, life and safety of machinery. Tribology group at Kyushu University is comprises of 2 laboratories in Department of Mechanical Engineering, Faculty of Engineering. Kyushu University has a research center for hydrogen use and storage. Tribology group at Kyushu University has a wide range of studies on reduction friction, in situ observation, biotribology, and tribology in hydrogen environment. That's all. Thank you very much for your kind attention.
Thank you, Professor Yagi. Any questions from the floor?
Good afternoon. Hello, Professor Yagi.
Hello.
Okay, so my question is regarding to the hydrogen development in
Yeah.
Kyushu University.
Yeah.
All right. So, what is your future prospect on that technology towards our future development?
Future development is quite, we have several programs to proceed with research in hydrogen environment. Hydrogen environment, chemical reaction process is totally different from those in atmospheric environment in air, because in hydrogen environment, there is no oxygen and water as well. So we must understand the chemical reaction processes to, in occurring in contact area. Chemical reaction is a quite important phenomenon to increase friction or decrease friction wear as well. So it's a next step. But unfortunately, our basic background is mechanical engineering. We are not so familiar with chemical reaction. When I was a high school student, I disliked chemistry. but now I understand the importance of chemistry. So if we could cooperate with researchers in the field of chemistry, it's a quite important. It's a quite important for us.
All right. Thank you, Professor.
Thank you.
Any more questions?
Sorry, just this presentation is just a brief introduction. So after my presentation, if you have any questions and if you want to know in detail our research topics and so on, please don't hesitate to ask.
Please give a big hand to Professor Yagi. Ladies and gentlemen, the last presenter is Professor Naoki Ikegaya. He is from the Faculty of Engineering Science, Kyushu University, the principal investigator of a wind engineering and urban climate research group at Urban Environmental Science Laboratory. He received his doctoral degree from engineering from Kyushu University in 2011. His major is architectural environmental engineering and wind engineering by means of both wind tunnel experiments and computational fluid dynamics approaches. He focuses on transport phenomena occurring in the turbulent urban boundary layer, wind environmental assessment for pedestrian safety and comfort, and indoor-outdoor airflow interaction of the cross ventilation flow. He also has experiences as a visiting researcher at Commonwealth Science and Industrial Research Organization, Australia, National Center for Atmospheric Research, United States, and University of Yimara, UITM. The title of his presentation today is Wind Engineering Studies for Built Environment. Please welcome Professor Naoki Ikegaya.
Assalamualaikum. Thank you very much for your kind introduction. And actually, I wrote that introduction that was too long, sorry. And I also included my self-introduction in my slide, but my topic is about wind engineering studies for built environment. It's really introductory sections about my background and also the recent work. And maybe you are not so familiar with the word built environment. So let me briefly explain the meaning. This is the environment that artificially created by the human beings, like a buildings or indoor environment house. So we deal with the try to build a good environment for the human beings to have the, let's say, comfortable life. So that is the main topic. So before that, let me introduce myself a bit after the long introduction. But my name is Ikegaya. and principal investigator in wind engineering group in urban environment society laboratory. The faculty is engineering sciences. So this is a multidisciplinary faculty between science and engineering. And my background is more like engineering than science, but our interest is more directed to this science. So the study is very fundamental. So it's a bit difficult to directly apply our study to the application, but at the same time, we are trying to see some fundamental phenomena, fundamental analysis about fluid dynamics matters. Yeah. Then my specialty and skills are listed here, like the wind, as I mentioned, the wind engineering, and also urban environmental engineering, urban climate, and also boundary layer theory. So baseline is like a fluid dynamics study, but at the same time, it's not like a mechanical field study, but more like a architectural or civil engineering field. And we are trying to teach knowledge to the field environmental large scale phenomena. And also as a skill, I'm mainly dealing with these matters based on computational fluid dynamics and also numerical simulations and also experiments. Especially we are calling wind tunnel experiments to see the effect of the airflow to the buildings. Yeah. I want to explain these outlines. Okay. Then my research scope is simply described as the variation of wind to the human beings. So the main topic is wind. So though there are a lot of different scales, but we are trying to identify the effect of buildings and the wind to human beings. For example, urban ventilation or wind environmental assessment, and also indoor ventilation. These are topics that I'm dealing with. So the common topic is wind, but we are dealing with different scales of phenomena, like urban scale, the large hundreds meter scale, to the human scale, like 1 meter scale. Yeah. Then also originally our research focus was outdoor. So actually in Japanese research in the architectural field, we have so many different disciplines, and like I say, though we are dealing with the wind, as I mentioned, but the one part is the indoor guy and other guy is the outdoor guy, and they cannot communicate with each other, though we are dealing with a very, very similar phenomenon, except for the scale. Then my interest is somehow combining these different skills into one study, one discipline. So that's why I'm dealing with a large scale to small scales at the same time. And also for maybe you're familiar with the indoor ventilation recently because of or thanks to the COVID-19 maybe. So everyone knows the importance of indoor ventilation. But indoor guy only consider about indoor ventilation, never consider about outdoor effect. But actually the outdoor wind directly affect the indoor, then we should consider at the same time these phenomena. So that's why we are dealing with different, it looks like a different topics, but actually it's connected. Yeah, then to deal with these studies, actually there are a lot of different methodologies. And these examples of methodologies that I'm dealing with, the one is a field measurement, another is experiment, and another is simulation. One thing that I can emphasize as the strength of our laboratory is that we are dealing with we are using these three methods as one is within one laboratory. That is a big strength, strong strength point. Yeah. And from here, I want to introduce some recent studies. Here, actually, I included a very nice photo, but somehow because of the projector, it does not too good picture to observe, to show maybe. Sorry. Oh, there. Yeah, you can see. Please see the screen. This is sorry, it was not so good picture. But this is the inside of the wind tunnel device that we are measuring the wind speed around the buildings. So you can see that small blocks, that is actually mimic buildings. So we built an artificial simplified building array to see the effect of these buildings. Then you can see some small device at the center that is a laser device to detect the wind speed. And also we have a high-speed camera at the bottom of the wind tunnel to capture the airflow within and around the buildings. It's the main device. Then by using this device, we can capture a very fancy, very nice view of the airflow. Actually, airflow it's very difficult to see, right? We cannot see the air. The motion of the air is invisible. But by using our technique, we can experimentally detect this kind of instantaneous motion of velocity, as you can see in this slide. Also, by using computational fluid dynamics technique, we are trying to estimate the occurrence frequency and strength of the very strong wind speed around the buildings. So it's a bit difficult for you, maybe if you're not so familiar with, but this is a slice, horizontal slice around one building. Then color indicates the area where we can see the strong wind speed. Then we are trying to, usually we determine this velocity distribution by solving a governing equation. Good thing is that we have already we know the governing equation of the phenomena. So mathematically speaking, the question is already solved. But for the application-oriented view, we need to solve this equation by using computer. That's a simulation part. But actually, the simulation takes a really long time. Then we are trying to build a model to estimate this distribution based on the statistical equation. You can see the red one and the blue one, red dot and blue dot. This is the one, the red one is the estimation by the simulation. So this is actually solved by using the numerical simulation. But blue one, this is based on the model. So we didn't solve the governing equation, but by using a model that we developed, we can estimate this kind of velocity distribution very well. Also, previous one is a simplified block array, but now we are trying to apply the model to the actual buildings. One is the simulation case of the realistic building, and another one is the field measurement case. So this is a TITE, Tokyo Institute of Technology. Then they have a very good campus near the Shinagawa station. It's an isolated campus for the high school. Then that area is covered by high-rise buildings. So, but their campus is very only there are small buildings, and we can see the interaction, the effect of the high buildings to the pedestrian levels. So we install the sensors to measure the velocity distributions. Also, we are trying to another method based on the simplified steady-state simulation. So I will skip the details, but based on these numerical simulations, we can get the distribution. We can estimate the distribution of strong wind speed. And also recently, maybe many of you are interested in this topic in machine learning. How can I say? Actually, it's not so cutting edge technologies. It has been known previously, but now many people are trying to use this method because we can get a lot of data. It's same for our case, we can get a very good simulation data. And by using this simulation data, we are trying to predict the distribution by using distribution of wind speed, of course, by using a machine learning method. It's very interesting to see how the machine learning model can develop with the epochs. Epoch means the how to say, iteration process for the running. So like a number of studying. Okay. Then increasing the epoch clearly shows the good prediction of the velocities as shown here. So the latter part you can see, this is the true one. Red one is true one. These is a prediction by machine learning. Actually, we cannot see any difference. So it means the good prediction can be possible. Also, as I mentioned, we are interested in an indoor velocity distribution. So we installed a very similar block arrays, as you can see here. But in this case, we are trying to see the interaction of the outdoor and indoor. So we installed a small model with a window that we capture that velocity. So this is a particle image of the airflow. So you can see the particle is moving. Then based on the visual data process, we can estimate the velocity distribution from these particle images, as you can see here. Yeah. And also, for the same model, we are trying to numerical simulation to see dynamical motion of the airflow introduction. Usually, what we are seeing, what we need to know is the time average to ventilation rate. But actually, that process is very dynamic and changing this time, as you can see here. Yeah, like this. And also, we are also interested in broad introduction of the traditional house in Malaysia. It's actually a collaboration work with a professor in UIT and Dr. Faisal. And this is really nice collaboration, I think, because we have a technique to measure the velocity. Yeah, that is from our side. And from the Malaysian side, they can provide us the topics that might be interesting in Malaysia. It's like a good collaboration because I cannot imagine. Our case is like a very simplified idea abroad, but he brought me this idea about the building shapes, specific building shapes in Malaysia. So we can see the dynamic motion of the velocity within the indoor area. Okay, so then I didn't prepare any summary of my presentation, but I just show this again about my presentation to remind you about the target of my research target. So the take-home message is just the remember about the importance of wind and the word of the built environment. It's very important for the human beings to have a good environment, and also even you are also interested in this topic and your background is very different. Even that it's very how to say at least you are very familiar with wind and the phenomena around you, and that is also will become a very good research topic, and that's why we are dealing with this one. Yeah, that's all my presentation. Yeah, thank you very much for your kind attention.
Thank you. Any questions from the floor?
Thank you, Professor Ikegaya. I have one question. I think different areas have different urban densities, right? They have different building densities, different topography. So just now you said one of your interests is also focusing on boundary layer depth. So is there has there been any study that can correlate between boundary layer depth and indoor condition of wind? That's one question. And another is what's the importance of knowing the fluctuations in the building? Because what I'm thinking is sometimes when we want to apply the fluctuations in real time scale, it might be difficult. So when we obtain fluctuations of wind within a building, how is it translated to the actual case?
Okay.
Thank you, Sensei.
Okay, thank you very much. The latter one is easy to answer, maybe about the importance of the turbulence in the case of the real scale, right? But I think it's very important to consider about the effects of the turbulence, especially when we want to see the very rare but strong wind phenomena, for example. Usually in a steady state condition, even the wind speed is a bit high, it is okay. But sometimes because of turbulence, the wind speed leads to the very strong peak values. So somehow we have to predict that value because that is the raw occurrence that has a very strong impact on the phenomena, like falling down the people or some damage to the buildings, such cases. So I think it's very important to consider. And also, especially for the indoor ventilation case, you can imagine like one window case, in a steady state condition, the wind speed is 0. Time of rest of wind should be 0, right? But actually the wind is exchanging because of the turbulence. Yeah. So it's very important to consider about that. Then the first question about the boundary height, maybe it's a bit specific question, but it's a bit difficult to consider because usual boundary layer, do you know how deep the boundary layer is in the actual case? It's like 1 kilometer to 3 kilometers away. But this boundary is generated by heat on the ground. In our case, is a bit different. It's like an internal boundary layer. So in a real scale, that is around maybe 100 to 200 meters. Yeah. So in implementation to the real skills are another program that we have to focus on the future. Yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you. Any more inquiries? Okay, please give a big hand to Professor Ikujaya. Ladies and gentlemen, we have finished all planned presentations. For the closing remarks, we would like to invite Professor Suji Shimizu, Vice President of Kyushu University and Executive Director of Institute for Asian and Oceanian Studies. Please welcome Professor Suji Shimizu.
Okay, thank you very much for being with us today. And I do hope that you enjoyed our presentations and you now know Kyushu University better than you used to. And because this is the first time for us to organize this Kyushu University Now Forum here in Malaysia, we we had a much concern what kind of program we should make or how many people get together here. So we had a good discussion with a group of alumni here, and we had a very successful workshop today. Thanks to all of you. And especially, I'd like to express my sincere appreciation to the team of alumni again here, Dr. Zaki, Nick-san, and Wan-san, among all. And also, I didn't know that the MC2 gentleman here, I forgot the name, sorry, was also the alumni, in Kyushu University. And also, I also should appreciate all the presenters here, giving us very interesting topics. And also, I should not forget to give thanks to Yokota Sensei and also Anai-san for all the detailed preparations to make this happen here. So originally, when we start thinking about having this kind of program in several countries, Asian countries, there are three aims to do this, start this. One is we knew that there are lots of collaborations between Japan and the other Asian countries, including Malaysia, in the level of the faculty, faculty level or department level. So a lot of people come to Japan, or a lot of our staff visit other countries. But we wanted to make it combined and make the faculty level to the university level so that we can have a bigger team and a lot of groups. So that's the main reason why. So the presentation made today is hopefully interesting to you, but also we, Kyushu University team, each member also enjoy the presentations of the Kyushu University, faculty professors, because we are not familiar with other, specialties as well. And the second reason is to have a stronger tie with the alumni people, because it's a pity to say that Kyushu University have not been successful to have a good collaboration or keeping in touch with the alumni people after they go back to their own country. So that's why we really want to reunite ourselves. So I was very happy to see some people, was so happy to see their old friends and the, former students and teachers, in this venue. So, that is, one of the reasons I think this forum was so successful. And the third reason is that to foster the collaboration, of course, not only with the alumni people, but also the surrounding people of these alumni people who would like to expand our collaborations. But as you may know, that starting collaboration may not be so easy. Just a meeting someone else and then we cannot start the collaboration. So that's why we'd like to deepen the friendship with the alumni people and then the people around them, having this kind of forum, frequently. And also we are waiting for the many more students to come to Kyushu University to strengthen and start the new collaborations as well. Yeah, okay, so we have, as already briefly introduced by Yokota Sensei at the beginning of this forum, that we have organized this Kyushu University Forum, first in Indonesia, and second in Thailand, and third in Vietnam. And Malaysia is the fourth country. And the reason why we chose these countries because we have many alumni people in these countries. But program or feeling of the forum was a bit different. So in Indonesia, for example, we first visited Jakarta, and then to Yogyakarta, we collaborated with the University of Indonesia, and then to University of Gajah Mada. Two of them are general universities. And then in Thailand, we collaborated mainly with the Mahidol and the Chulalongkorn and Thammasat, but all of them are also general university. And then the same, that is true in Vietnam. We visited Hanoi to have a major collaboration with the National University of Hanoi. And we had a broad, topics with all of them. But here in Malaysia, we had a major number of the alumni with UTM, if I remember correctly. So that's why we chose UTM to have a first forum here. So the program itself looks like, to me at least, is a bit different from other universities. So until now, in other countries, we invited the human sciences and the many other faculty presentations. But here we focused on the engineering part. So that's why we have more presentation relating with the technology this time. So I don't know what's next, what comes next in Malaysia. Where we will have a second round of forum next year in Malaysia. But please give us your feedback or some ideas, and so that we can have more interesting and better program between us. So that's all I wanted to say. So thank you very much again, and see you again next year. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Shimizu. Ladies and gentlemen, with that, we have concluded the KYUDAI NOW Kyushu University Forum 2024. Thank you very much for your participation. Now we are going to have a casual networking session at the Sage, located at the 6th floor of this building. You are all invited to attend the event. Thank you.